Yo, what up? It's your boy J.Sims, the Supreme by God, and you are checking out Eliminate the Doubt, episode 2. Episode 2 had my brother N Cashe, straight out of New Orleans. He blessed us with his presence, gave us some dope stories about how he came up in the industry. N Cashe is a music producer, also a rapper, but more than that, a great businessman. Has his own brand called Ken by Respect, dope clothing brand. We get on there, we chop it up with him. He tells us about just him coming up in the industry and working close with Hit Boy and the likes of Drake, Lil Wayne, Eminem. It was a dope interview, man. I thank you, brother, for blessing us with your presence. And make sure, if you're watching this right now, his new album, Legendary Stories of a Hustler, Volume 3, is out today. It's out right now on all streaming platforms. Make sure you go download that, listen to that. It's in your phone, wherever you listen to music, pop music. It's there. Check it out. N Cashe. Thank you, brother, for coming through. Definitely gonna chop it up with you again. And shout out to everybody that support the Doubt, man. Reason Doubt fam. Thank y'all for everybody that support us. We ain't gonna stop. We got a lot of good stuff coming. Eliminate the Doubt. We're gonna keep going. Thank you for all the feedback so far about the one-on-one interview series. Just let me know who else y'all want to see me interview one-on-one. Thank you for listening. Shout out to N Cashe. Make sure y'all check it out. We'll get that new album, man, on all streaming platforms, man. Legendary Stories of a Hustler Volume 3 with the lead single Player Play. And that's all I've been listening to all weekend, man. So make sure y'all check it out. Thank you. Subscribe. Shout out to my whole Reason Doubt fam. See y'all, man. Welcome. We here right now. It's your boy J.Sims, aka the Supreme Pie Guy, 1/4 of the Reason Doubt podcast. I'm here with artist, producer, entrepreneur, fly guy all around. New Orleans native, producer, artist, producer that likes Lil Wayne, Currency, Drake, Eminem. There's a few names, credited on Beyonce, kid's a superstar, man. Grammy Award winning. I would say this guy is the true dot connector. I know that's something that people be saying on the internet, but they just be saying it. They don't mean shit. This is somebody that really has an ear. He puts those people in the places they need to be. Brand owner, Ken by Respect.
Yes, sir.
That's a dope brand. We definitely gonna get into that. But this is my guy, N Cashe, man. Welcome to Eliminate the Doubt, hosted by me, J.Sims.
Appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be on here, man. This like the real niggas only.
Yeah, exactly. And I got a funny story. I'm originally a hooper,
Okay.
Played ball my whole life. So the way I got introduced to you, I actually probably already seen you from like Hit Boy Surf Club. We're around the same age, so I was around all that blog era stuff. So I ain't connecting the dots. My guy, CDR.
Okay, yeah, that's my brother.
Yeah. From his web series, I see you pop up on there. And I think that's when I started following you on socials and everything. Chasing Cat. I'm like, oh, dude, funny, man. Like, from that, I just been following you from years, and like we never talked, but it's just I seen you off that. It's just, and then I'm like, damn, he produced all this, he did all that. So shout out to CDR. CDR was like the first person to holler at us while we started doing this podcast thing, following us and commenting. So shout out to him, man.
Yeah, man, he's solid. That's my boy, man. You feel me? I got a lot of love for CDR, man. Supreme. That's what he like to go
Supreme,
by.
Yeah.
Supreme Bay, Monte Cristo Richie. You feel me?
Exactly.
But yeah, that's my guy. You know what I mean? I could relate to him because at the time we met, outside of me being a fan of his, I started off being a fan. You know what I mean? I didn't know the nigga for nothing. But it's just crazy how we crossed paths and shit. It started from like the internet, and then I ended up moving to New York. I was living in New York at the time, and he ended up getting a tryout for the Knicks. And so we was able to kick it. We started kicking it for a while and shit, running around in the streets. And it's funny how you use the phrase dot connector, the saying dot connector. In basketball, not necessarily I wouldn't say he's a dot connector, but he one of them niggas in basketball that everybody respect. You feel me?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
he don't get the media. He don't get the media talk. But I done been in the streets. I done seen Boogie Cousins. I done seen all these niggas that went to Kentucky or played for Coach Cal or wanted to play for Coach Cal. They know about him. You feel me? And Derrick Rose, because they was the two niggas. You feel me?
Exactly.
And to see the respect that he get, you know, everything he was going through, I feel like at the same time, I was kind of going through it on the musical end. It was like the ups and downs of like pursuing our passion. And we was kind of like, do we still want to do this? Because we know we love it, but we felt like both of us had more inside of us than just staying in this one lane.
Yeah.
And our relationship was kind of built off of that. The fact that we could be like confidants in each other and motivate each other to be like, nah, you know what I mean? If you want to start designing, if you want to start doing something different, if you want to start an agency, you could do that shit, you know what I mean? And then he ended up going and get a fucking tryout for the Pelicans, bro. It was kind of like the shit was like meant to be at the time. And I ended up going to New Orleans and we was fucking around doing some shit together and shit. And just trying our best to like align each other dreams with each other. You feel me? Because at that time, I think there wasn't too many black men that we was coming across that was thinking the way we was thinking. We was really thinking about the future and how, I think the only niggas I saw doing it was Rich Paul and Mav and all of his niggas, you feel me? LeBron niggas. And I had saw that in real time, but it's different when it's done with a superstar. You know what I mean? CDR was a star in his own right, but he kind of like was a street star and like a basketball star.
And people know, you know, CDR was the first. That nigga was the first I seen dye his dreads blind. You know, like, and even when he grew his dreads, that hair, that style, it was different. Him wearing the short shorts. It's a lot of things that
on some hoop shit for sure. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. He had a lot of trends as a hooper. Wearing the motherfucking frames on the court that look like the sunglasses and shit. You feel me? He an Iverson type nigga, you feel me? When it come to influential on basketball players, you feel me? Like Derrick Rose to Chicago is everything, but I seen CDR to niggas who came up in a certain time period of basketball. He was that nigga.
That's what I said. Me, I graduated 07, so I graduated with the Derrick Roses and all them. Like, I remember seeing CDR. Like, we always knew Derrick Rose was that nigga, but we like, nah, CDR really, he that nigga, you know. So it's just always being in love. But man, great to give CDR his flowers, man. You know, shout out to him.
Yeah, man. Everybody go look my nigga up on YouTube, see him cook. Man.
Yeah, for sure. But one thing I like doing, even just talking to people, you know, barbershop talk and things like that. I feel like you can learn a lot about a person when they tell you they top 5. Like this top 5 MCs, that's just something I do before every discussion almost. I ask people like, what's their top 5? And it ain't gotta be.
Yeah, I could give you two. I could give you 2 sets of 5s because I come from the South. So I'm gonna have a top 5 rappers, and then I can have top 5 lyricists. So my top 5 rappers, I'm gonna start off just with my favorites. Period. My favorites.
That's what I want.
Yeah. Number 1, Tupac. Tupac. You feel me? I grew up under Tupac. Everybody is crazy. Still in 2021, niggas still got bits and pieces of Tupac in them, and they didn't experience them. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Jay-Z for sure. Number 3, I'm gonna go with BG. I'm gonna go with BG. BG because of New Orleans, and BG was kind of like what Soulja Slim was supposed to be. You feel me? Like Soulja Slim is really the one, but BG was the one who really got the success because he was with Cash Money, et cetera, et cetera. Number 4, I'm gonna go T.I. T.I. because the blend of lyricism, style, hit making, everything. He just did everything in his prime. And Lil Wayne to round it out, man. As crazy as he is now, Lil Wayne for sure.
Solid top 5 though, man.
Yeah, I could give you some honorable mentions, even though they legends because they came up before my time, but I listen to them now because I actually understand it. Raekwon, Guru for sure. What's another? Biggie, you know what I mean? I love Biggie. I can't front Biggie really, it's really disrespectful that I don't have Biggie in my top.
That's the thing about
Biggie, like when it come to rapping, Biggie might be like technically as far as like making hits, rapping, the swag, girl songs, street songs, songs without a hook. He really might be the best technical rapper.
That's what Styles P said. Like Biggie had this, he was like A+ in every facet of rap.
Yeah,
So like he could do anything. That's what made him the best. And it's
I just got so much Jay-Z in me, and Biggie got such a short catalog. It's hard for me to like make him like if there was no Jay-Z, it'd probably be Biggie because Jay-Z was like that for me. He was like big.
I say Jay the best. Like Jay, my favorite rapper of all time. But I think even if Jay ain't your favorite rapper of all time, Jay the GOAT just off of his accolades and just his longevity alone. And maybe it would have been different if Biggie and Pac would have been here. But it's like even if you, because there's people that hate on Jay. So even if you don't like him by default, Hov the GOAT just off default, almost.
Yeah, Hov is just interesting because when you look at his catalog, I feel like he got the better of being so good. I would say Biggie better because Biggie still got better girl songs.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Mm-hmm. Like Jay-Z girl songs ain't the best. Like they don't. But his raps, he got a wider lane in rapping over a lot of people. You feel me? Where he could rap like lavish shit. He can rap like the thoughtful shit and mix it in. You feel me? Like go 5%er on you and shit like that. But he really can't. He can't go Fabulous where he can make a girl joint, or he can't go Biggie where he can make a hip. He don't gotta hypnotize. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like if you listen to Give It To Me, the way he rapping on there, Fabulous could rap on that beat too. Biggie could rap on that beat too. But ain't too many niggas could rap how Biggie rapped on Hypnotize, bro. Because he really spitting on that shit, my nigga.
Like he an alien, man.
Nigga, he really spitting on. And Biggie had a way. Jigga can't take me to another place visually. I kind of like, I understand where Jigga is. He can tell me some shit I never heard about, but I still kind of can get it. You feel me? It's like, I was the first one sipping this type of champagne. It's like, okay, I get it. But Biggie could go from like serial killer to like mafia don.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And that's Tupac. Tupac could go from prophet to thug to, love your mama, to love the babies, to I wonder if heaven got a ghetto, like just these different concepts of thinking outside the box. I don't really feel like Jay-Z checked that off. He not a think outside the box type of guy as far as like concept. Now with the lines that he come with, they definitely like triple entendre, double entendre. I love that type of shit. But the guys, I like the people that think outside the box. You know what I mean? Those are my favorites as far as like craft that influenced me, but at the same time, I'm a Juvenile fan. I'm a Mystical fan. You feel me? I like style. You feel me? I'm a style person because niggas can rap all day, but ain't too many niggas got style. I was just listening to Too Short this morning, his 10th album. You know what I mean? Nigga fuck with Bone Thugs, 8-Ball MJG, Pimp C, Bun B. For real. Like that's what I grew up on. I got on the lyrical shit once a nigga like, if you grew up in the 2000s, you remember when the smack era and the internet hit and it wasn't really about songs no more. It was just about mixtapes. So I'm a Cameron. I'm a Dipset fan. You feel me, nigga? Stack Bundles, Max B, for real. That's what I really listen to.
Yeah.
A lot of the shit that I say is my favorite is shit that I think is understandable by a common audience. But the shit I really listen to is Max B, Stack Bundles, Dipset, Squad, Slim Thug, fucking Screwed Up tapes. You feel me? Anything that got a style that I could listen to. Snoop Dogg and the East Siders, Battle Cat beats and shit like that. Like that's what I love to listen to.
Yeah, man. And that's what I said. I knew that conversation was gonna go a lot of different places because
LL Cool J. I can't forget LL CoolJ. Come on, man. I love LL Cool J. He deserves Slick Rick, another nigga. Outkast. I can't forget them niggas. Big Boy. I always loved how Big Boy rap. You feel me? Niggas always talk about Andre 3000, Andre official. But Big Boy got some classic ass verses, bro.
Yeah, and they had Earth Gang doing the interview the other day, and I love Earth Gang. I fuck with them. But they was like, they even felt disrespect. It was like a thing on Twitter. They were saying Earth Gang is Outkast, but they got two Andre 3000. That's the most disrespectful shit. Like, they act like Big Boy.
But I get where niggas coming from because I don't know them that well. I have met them because I'm cool with Dreamville niggas and they good people. Jid, all them niggas. I think they thinking about when you see them, you never seen them niggas in like Atlanta jerseys and like how you seen, that's how you kind of remember Outkast. You remember Big Boy for kind of being like the street nigga.
Yeah,
I just think these niggas don't get no necessarily like street vibes from them. Niggas get more artistic, creative, Andre 3000, Rosa Parks, Bombs Over Baghdad type wave. You feel me? Because niggas come in a certain aesthetic and how they dress and shit. And so I don't think niggas even saying it on some shit like Big Boy can't rap. I just think it's how niggas is looking at it. This a visual generation. This ain't an audio generation. Them niggas ain't listening to it before they see it and then being like, oh, I fuck with it. Because think about this. If we really look at CeeLo, niggas gonna know singing CeeLo. They ain't gonna know Goody Mob CeeLo with the bars and that type of shit. So I just think it's that. I don't think niggas was trying to disrespect them niggas, but if I see niggas with colorful swag, dressing kind of left field from the norm of what I'm seeing with the trap niggas, and you coming from Atlanta, I'm gonna think you on some Outkast Andre type shit, because I'm not seeing you with the braids and the Cartiers and the polo looking on some pimp shit, because that's Big Boy.
Exactly. Okay, I see that.
But the rapping wise, they on the same tip. They both got flows. Niggas know what's up, but that's where I go back to style. Style is a lot of shit, man. Like, depending on how a nigga look, a nigga hear you differently, bruh. Period, point blank.
I tell that to all type of up and coming rappers. I salute anybody that's trying to be creative and stuff, because being a rapper, that's hard to do. But I hear niggas, and then you look at them, it's like, damn, that ain't gonna work because your swag is off, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the people that you trying to entertain, they ain't fucking with your presentation, I feel like.
Man, bro, I'm gonna tell you this. That nigga Nelly, one of the hardest rappers, bar-wise. Yeah. Despite all the shit that's coming out right now. Despite all the info that's coming out right now, I still love all them niggas. I don't care if Keywan Murphy, whoever wrote it. All them niggas, them St. Louis niggas had bars.
Shout out to Lil T.
But look.
I'm interviewing Ali this weekend.
They look is what took it over the top. You hear what Ali talking about it now. It's like them niggas came in kind of like on some like different shit. Them niggas got this nigga Nelly got all St. Louis shit on. Them niggas, you didn't see no niggas coming like that, bro. Like, you seen Jay-Z on, like, Jay-Z will wear different cities, different jerseys, depending on what city he was in on a tour. Yeah. And then you had West Coast niggas, they wearing Lakers shit, but not like that in the videos. They ain't ODing on the shit. Niggas in New Orleans, they wearing soldier rags and Dickie fits and camo and all that type of shit. These niggas came through literally looking like a fucking baseball team, nigga, or sporting team. St. Louis head to toe, nigga. That shit was the look. You feel me? Then the niggas standing in front of the landmark. There was nobody doing that except New York niggas. LA niggas wasn't standing in front of the Staples Center or doing all that type of shit. That nigga stood in front of that arch, and even if you ain't been to St. Louis, you know what the arch is.
Because a lot of people because of Nelly too. Like, they never even paid attention.
Then them niggas got a mascot with the nigga wearing a mask and they bringing that look in. It's the look, even with the Hot Boys, bro. Like, the Hot Boys, when they got they look together, I remember being in New Orleans before they fully got on like they camouflage soldier Reebok type shit. Niggas was just on some gutter shit, you feel me? And it kind of like fit in with everything else New Orleans. Then that nigga Baby said, nigga, we throwing all this jewelry on. We getting iced up, nigga. This the bling bling era. We buying these cars, and then you got the birth of stunting. That shit took us over the top, because before that, niggas was fucking with Houston, niggas was fucking with Atlanta, because that's what they was, and they was fucking with Miami, Florida, and all that type of shit at the time. Yeah, Miami was really known for the stunting and the flashing because of the cocaine era and all that type of shit, and what they was doing. But when we came through and turned up with the white tees and the Reeboks, nothing but jewelry, stretching the cars out, all that type of shit, we changed the game. Because think about this. Niggas don't be talking about P like that. Because why? You don't remember how it looked. It didn't really fuck you. You remember the music. You remember the movement. Yeah. You remember that it sold a lot of records. But you can't necessarily say, like, what was the No Limit style other than niggas saying they were soldiers and wearing camouflage? You don't know. You don't know.
Right. That's
right.
That's right.
You know the St. Lunatics. You know the Dipset style. You know the Rockefeller style. Everybody's style you remember. That's the niggas I feel like last the longest, bro. Period. Them
That's
West
a fact.
Coast niggas, you remember all them OG West Coast niggas because ever since then, you ain't really seen nobody come like that with the cars, with the khakis, with the Chuck Taylors and shit like that. That shit was in movies. It was in the music. Everybody wanted to live it. And it's a style. It's a certain type of thing. Like, matter of fact, I didn't even have Snoop Dogg on my list, which is disrespectful. But Snoop Dogg, he don't even deserve to be on a list. The nigga icon. Like, he one of them niggas, he got such a style.
Mm-hmm.
He's a style in his own right.
Right. That's a fact. The Snoop is Snoop. You can't even compare him to nobody. Snoop is the only person that could go anywhere, light up his blunt before all this shit. Like, this is Snoop. Like,
I'm telling you. I think of niggas like Currency got his own style. Wiz Khalifa got his own style. Mm-hmm. Is Wiz the greatest rapper ever? I don't even think he ever went for that. But the way that nigga came in the game and the way he went about it, he stamped, bro, with that Taylor Gang shit. He came from Pittsburgh. Who else was from Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
So I think if you got a style, I think only New York niggas might be the only ones that can get away with not having that much of a style to be able to say like, oh, you fuck with them, because that's the mecca of hip hop. And even still, you still think of the Raekwons, the Ghostfaces. You think of what in a time period right now. I think I will give Lil Baby that. Lil Baby, Lil Baby, niggas like Babyface Ray, ESTG. There's certain niggas that's starting to creep up. They not rapping the same as everybody else. Gunna, you feel me? I feel like Thug and them niggas, they was like the first wave of that bunch that didn't want to rap like other niggas and use that same flow. Future a part of that, you feel me? You got certain niggas, they styles is just you can't fuck with Lil Uzi. You can't fuck with that nigga style, bro.
Yeah. So with your influences, right? Like let's start talking like your producing style. But that's kind of how I first got introduced to you.
Manny Fresh, Timbaland, and the Neptunes.
Yeah, I see you got the Star Trek shirt on right there.
For life, man, for life. But Manny Fresh, Timbaland, the Neptunes, Battle Cat. I grew up in the Scratch Magazine era, so you know I'm like first generation Fruity Loops, nigga, like pioneers. We started this shit, so we grew up kind of like on a little bit of everything because we like computer babies. So we had to like figure out where to get sounds from and all that shit, because all the producing before that was MPCs, records, niggas playing piano and all that type of shit. So I soaked up a little bit of everything, bro.
When did you first start producing, like seriously, like getting into it?
Like 03, I was in like 10th grade. I was in like 10th grade. I was rapping before that. I was rapping kind of like since like a kid, because my cousins used to be trying to fuck around with that shit. And then when I got older, I was rapping at lunch and shit at school. And I used to be good at beating on the desk and shit like that. I used to always get in trouble for that type of shit. And nigga ended up, I don't even know what made me. I think it was because I was going to, we used to go to the studio back in the day when we was young and we ain't know no better. And we would go to the studio with no beats and we'd have to ask the engineer or somebody to like come up with a beat. So, or no, matter of fact, before that, we was rapping on other niggas' beats. We was downloading instrumentals off WinMX, Kazaa, Napster, and all that type of shit, rapping on the beats.
Wild up here.
Yep, ended up, this even before that, bro, because I'm 33, nigga, so me and Wayne close in age. So, I remember going to the studio and recording on another nigga beat, actually recording on all the beats that we had on a blank CD, on a burnt CD. And after we went back to another session, we couldn't find no more beats like that because instrumentals only came out at the time of the records. You feel me? So it wasn't like you could go on YouTube now. It was like soundclick.com back in the day where you could go get beats and shit like that from amateur producers. So the dude in the studio was like, y'all know y'all gonna have to clear. I ain't know nothing about this type. He's like, y'all know y'all gonna have to clear this type of shit, right? If it blow up. We was like, nah. We was like, so how we gonna get beats? He was like, I'll make y'all one. It was an old white dude. He started making a beat, and the beat was terrible, son. But I was amazed at the process because it was looking too easy. And I'm just like, this thing ain't doing nothing but like grabbing these little sounds and like putting them together and shit. And I remember asking him, I was like, how you do the drums? And he was like, you just got to do it like you snap into the beat and just count it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, once that nigga showed me how to count, I looked at the program he had. It was called Hip Hop EJ. And they used to sell that shit at Circuit City back in the day. Rest in peace, Circuit City. I fucking went in there. I remember my mom went in there one day. And I normally would go on that bitch and buy video games. And I remember seeing, it was right next to the video game. I was like the computer shit and the video games. And I went over there and I seen the program. And I was like, God damn, this motherfucker in here. And I picked it up and it was around the same price as a game, like $45, $50. You know how games used to be, PlayStation games used to cost back in the day. And I picked it up and I brought it. And my mom thought it was a video game, so she didn't think nothing of it. She just seen the packages. She was just like, all right, cool, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Then I get to the house, I start fucking with that shit. And that bitch had a little recording mic too.
Yeah, you hooked.
And I was sitting there all night.
Yeah.
The beats and the melodies they had in there was like folk guitars, all kind of country shit. It was whack shit, bro. And I was just obsessed of being like, I got to get this shit to sound like the shit I'm hearing on the radio, period. And I would sit there all day. And then not too long after that, PlayStation dropped this shit called MTV Music Generator.
I remember that.
And nigga went and got that shit. And after that, it was over, bro.
Yeah, you knew you wanted to do that.
Bro,
Yeah.
and you know what it was too? The connection of video game, something you do for fun, making music, something you want to do for fun. That merger of that led me into everything else, bro, because a nigga could just sit there and you could just, you knew how to control it already. It wasn't no like learning the piano low-key would have probably discouraged a nigga because I would have been like, damn, I ain't good at it. I don't sound like Stevie Wonder. But the fucking PlayStation just had nothing but sounds, and all you had to do was go through that bitch, pick something that you like, and then mash it with something else that you thought sounded good. Right. Nigga, I'm in that bitch all day long doing that. From there, I find out about Fruity Loops and all kind of different shit. I get Fruity Loops, and they had the Aaliyah Try Again shit on there, where you could like remake a Timbaland beat. And I used to use that as my template, and I used to study that shit, to study how they did the drums and the sounds. And then not too long after, nigga, I started selling beats on SoundClick.
Yeah. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit. So 2005, Katrina hit, then you have to transfer. You went to California after that?
Yeah, straight to Los Angeles.
And that's when like y'all formed the surf.
Look, so Surf Club ended up forming that year. They was already Surf Club before me. So let me just say that. When I got to LA, I was producing with somebody else. I don't know Hit Boy at the time. But to put it in context, Hit Boy is also producing with somebody else at the time. We don't know each other. Didn't even run into the nigga. I'm running around with all kind of different kids in Hollywood that's kind of like pursuing their dreams. So some actors, some rappers, some designers, all kind of different shit. That was just my little clique. One of them happened to be Elijah Kelly, who is a great actor, artist right now. We just used to be kicking it all the time. I knew 1500 and them niggas before I knew Hit Boy. I knew Mars and Rance and them niggas. So I used to be pulling up at their studio and shit. And I just ended up falling in the mix. And I would play my beats for everybody. And then niggas started knowing who I was. And then the guy I was making beats with, he was going to a music school at the time called MI, the Music Institute. He was skipping class. He stopped going, and his dad stopped paying for him to go to school. So when his dad stopped paying him to go to school, he couldn't live in LA no more because he didn't have nobody to help pay rent and all this different type of shit. So he just peeled out and left me on my own. So when it left me on my own, it put me in a position to like start getting more savvy and start thinking, because I was so used to being in like a duo with everything. I felt like I wasn't using my full potential. And then I got put in the streets, bro. I started hustling, moving around, doing what I had to do to get money for studio time and different shit like that. And from that, I started meeting different people in the music industry. I started getting in different studios, meeting different motherfuckers.
What year was your would you say was like your first placement?
07, because when I left in 05, I didn't move. When Katrina hit 05, I didn't move to LA till March 2006. So as soon as I got to LA, I started moving around. I think I ended up meeting Hit Boy at the end of that year. But before that, I ended up getting into some trouble in the streets and shit like that, getting locked up, getting out. I was on probation for a long ass time. I wasn't even making no music, bro. I couldn't because I had a crazy ass fucking community service sentence, and I had to do all kind of shit with the legal system. So I kind of was like, I got to LA and I just was like kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
I end up meeting Sean Kingston before Hit Boy, nigga. If I don't meet Sean Kingston, I don't meet Hit Boy. Swear to God.
Okay.
I end up meeting Sean Kingston, bro, because I used to be going around and doing, like I said, playing beats. A guy who was trying to get Sean Kingston signed at the time, he came to me and was like, I need some beats for his demo. I gave him some beats. I didn't hear from him for a while. Then out of the blue, niggas hit me up and was just like, yo, we got a situation, et cetera, et cetera. Sean Kingston invited me to come rock with him at the time. I ended up getting evicted out of my apartment, and the nigga came through and held me down for a cool bit. Then once I got on my feet, we ended up living in the same apartment complex, which happened to be the Oakwoods that Drake rapped about in the song. So from there, Sean Kingston started working on his album. He signs a deal with J.R. Rodham at the time. He go on MySpace and he looking for different producers to work outside J.R. Rodham, because J.R. wasn't trying to produce the whole shit himself. He just wanted to do the pop records and the singles. So Sean Kingston, just like you said, he fuck with my ear. He like, yo, why don't you go on MySpace, because you popular on MySpace, and ask some people for some beats and shit. So I put out a bulletin through Sean Kingston page. The nigga Hit Boy see the bulletin and he send the beats to the email. So we going through the beats. Sean Kingston not feeling Hit Boy beats. I'm in this bitch like, what you tripping?
Crazy.
I'm like, tripping. I remember the exact beats, bro. That nigga had a beat. He had a beat where he sampled Bob Marley, Concrete Jungle. It was called Concrete Jungle. And the beat was so fucking fire. And the thing was, it was knocking like my beats, because my drums been good since the beginning, because I just think it's a Southern thing. We come up knowing how drums sound. But that nigga Hit Boy shit came through, and then nigga had the keys playing on top of the set. I said, I'm like, this nigga sound like Just Blaze. I'm like, this nigga hard. So Sean Kingston, like, I ain't fucking with that. He didn't want to make no typical Jamaican reggae shit at the time. He was talking about going pop. So I'm like, man, I'm about to hit this nigga through my page. I sent that nigga a message. I said, hey, bro, Sean Kingston not feeling them beats, but I fuck with them bitches. Nigga. Them bitches amazing. And
Sean Kingston, he get brought up a lot on
jewelry.
I mean, he put on a lot, like not put on, but just I think I was listening to Smoke Dizzle said he started with Sean.
That's how it looks. So Smoke Dizzle is my brother. Smoke Dizzle was writing for Sean Kingston and other niggas. I don't want to say their names because I don't want to mess my niggas shit up, but niggas know he was working with Sean Kingston at the time. Sean Kingston was on Cinematic Records. You feel me? He was one of the first artists on Cinematic Records. Johnny Shipes, Smoke Dizzle, a company. You feel me? So Dizzle been my brother for a long time. So Dizzle was there the day that I was supposed to go to court, December 4th. I had a warrant. I had a court date I was supposed to go, and I looked at nigga. I was just like, I ain't going, bro. And he was like, you sure you want to do that? And I was like, man, I'm gonna skip my court date. And I'm going to just fuck with the music all the way. I'm going to get out the streets and I'm going to just pursue music. And then from that day time forward, Hit Boy ended up sending me a message and was like, yo, where you live at? I was like, look, I'm living in Burbank at the Oakwoods, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, I ain't really got no situation right now. I'm really just trying to focus on this music because I've been doing all kind of other shit. And Hit Boy said, all right, I'll come scoop you tomorrow and come by the crib and we can make beats. So I was like, all right, for sure. The nigga come through. Bro, I tell you this, the day I met him, I kid you not, I couldn't put it into words, but I knew my life was going to change. I could feel that nigga was pure, son. I could feel he was no street nigga. He wasn't trying to do nothing slimy and grimy. The nigga was just about music, bro. That nigga pulled up. He had an old Lexus at the time. An old ass Bubba Lie Lexus at the time. Him and his cousin BC scooped me up. I'm riding in the back. Then I get them niggas a beat CD. They start playing a beat CD on the way to the house. They like, damn, nigga, you hard. Like, we ain't heard these on your MySpace. Da-da-da. So then Hit Boy start playing some shit. So when we get to his house, he live in the IE. This is my first time. I ain't never been to the IE before. So I get out there. I get to the house. This nigga live on a block by himself, nigga. This shit is hilarious. When I get in the studio, he producing his setup is exactly like mine, nigga. He using Fruity Loops. He got the keyboard going into the back the same way I was doing it. And when I see it, I was like, yo, I'm like, you using Fruity Loops like that with the keyboard? He said,
Almost
yeah,
like
that's
Will
how.
Ferrell, like on Step Brothers. Like,
Yes,
this is
nigga,
your
it's like
best
that
friend?
movie, Step Brothers, nigga. Yes, nigga. Bro, when I seen that shit, I said, in my head, I'm just like, nah, this nigga can't be using this shit the same way I'm using it. I just had a Korg Triton and this nigga had a Roland Phantom at the time. Or he had a different keyboard until he got the Roland. But he was using the keyboard, getting the sounds from there and dumping it in the back of the computer. And so when I seen it, as soon as I sat down, nigga, I kid you not, we started making a beat. I had brought my hard drives with me. When I brought the drives with me, I started loading the sounds up. I showed niggas how to use the loops and shit like that. Niggas wasn't using loops at the time. So I used to have all these different sample CDs. I started loading up the loops. The nigga Hit Boy like, yo, what is that? I'm like, yo, this how you get the crazy drums, da-da-da, this how you chop, da-da-da. So that nigga get on, I started doing this drum pattern. That nigga get on the keys and he just start playing some shit. The drums is like some marching band shit. He get on there and he start playing with a harp. My nigga, that bitch was sounding like Tim and Bob. We was sounding like Tim and Bob on the first day. I was like, when he started playing the keys, I'm terrible at playing the keys at that time. So man, that nigga got on that bitch and started hitting them chords and shit. I said, ooh, this about to be ridiculous, bro. We about to fuck the game up. Probably made like 6 beats. I didn't go home, son, from that day forward. Yeah. I think I went back to go get like clothes and shit like that eventually. But from that day forward, I ended up staying with Hit Boy, bro. I ended up meeting the rest of the members of Surf Club. And then from there, I helped them like get it off the ground with like the website and the marketing and the logo and all that shit and boomed up.
Yeah, man. And like from working with Hit Boy and just seeing where Hit Boy at right now, it's amazing. Like he always been one of my favorite producers. One thing I like about Hit Boy, it's almost like nobody does anything by themselves. But you look at all the producers, super produce anybody.
Oh,
like,
that nigga do.
Dre is Snoop. You got Mustard.
That nigga Hit Boy can make the hardest beat from scratch by himself. Yeah,
but
he works with other niggas now, but I'm gonna tell you, he the best ever, bro. He the best ever, bro.
Yeah,
he the best ever, bro.
He's not even like he's not connected to pretty much anybody. Like kind of maybe Pharrell and the Neptunes, you can say that too. But it's like every producer they had a guy. And I think Hit Boy is just Hit Boy.
That nigga can work with anybody.
Yeah.
You can put that nigga. You can take a bum off the street that can sing, and put that nigga in the studio with Hit Boy, and he gonna make a beat that's so fucking hard. All he need is a songwriter, and that's it, bro. And a nigga with a style that's good. The same way you can see he a style nigga, bro. Like if you got a style, he can compliment it, and he can take it up. Period. Point blank. That nigga the best. Hey, bro, I'm telling you, Timbaland before Hit Boy, it was Timbaland. Pharrell might be the best producer as far as like, cause you know he right. Nigga ain't touching him with that. So he in a league his own. But when it come to making them beats and them sounds, nigga not fucking with Hit Boy, son. It was Timbaland, but now it's Hit Boy, son. Now it's Hit Boy. Cause Timbaland ain't got no R&B game like Hit Boy.
Mm-hmm. So one thing I seen too, one of my biggest inspirations for even doing the podcast and getting into this stuff is Nipsey Hussle. Even before I've been on Nipsey since I first seen it. Since I seen the nigga in the We Are the World video, like who was that tall nigga in the back? Like he was in the back. If you watch that shit, the 2005.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I was like, who is that nigga? Like I kind of been on Nipsey since then. But when my connection with Nipsey is like I was on Twitter one day and I made a list, like whatever year that was, that 2018, I made top 5 verses of the year or something. And I put Nipsey, the Blue Laces 2 in the top 5. And Nipsey reposted that. And there's a whole bunch of people who was reposting. He put it on his Instagram and Twitter and everything like that. And I would constantly be saying things on Twitter and they was getting reposted and stuff. And then I feel like when Nipsey did that, it just gave me a click like, man, I know this music a little bit. Let me start doing it. And that's when I started doing the podcast after Nipsey did that. But
yeah, bro was tapped in, bro. Bro was like super tapped in. Like he was a nigga, he up early on it. He not on the internet like on some bullshit ever, but he just tapped in. Like if niggas is showing love on something that he know he wanted love on, that's why he probably reposted that shit. Cause that nigga, Nipsey a nigga, he put his all in a verse. He ain't one of them niggas go in the booth and just be like willy-nilly rapping, you feel me? He ain't gonna go in that bitch and just say whatever. So when you say that shit, that nigga felt that shit, bro. That's that nigga. I seen that nigga go in the booth and say one line repeatedly for 30 minutes, nigga, until it felt right to him.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. Like niggas want that, bro. You gotta, because you know what it is? Niggas will look up to a nigga for everything else but what they craft is. Nigga be like, oh, he a crip. Oh, he a real street nigga. Oh, the business. Oh, like I remember sitting in the studio and he could tell you everything about Biggie album. He could tell you everything about Pac album. He could tell you everything about a book. You know what I mean? He could tell you what's going on in the news right now. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, this girl that just started a bakery on Instagram that you should pay attention to, nigga. Like he just was tapped in. He wasn't above no real shit, no genuine shit. You feel me? So the fact that you did something genuine like that, it says a lot, bro. You know what I mean? Because I try my best to be on the same tip. I think that's why a lot of time when people used to see us together, or now that his presence is spiritual now, people always say, oh, you remind me of him. You remind me of him. You remind me of him. And that's something I don't take lightly because I understand people feel at home. People feel warm. People feel protected. They feel enlightened. They feel like they feel like life is possible when them type of people are around and them type of people spread that type of energy. You feel me? So Nipsey doing that type of shit, it just show a nigga like, I could have easily said, no disrespect, a Jigga verse, or anybody else, they would have not retweeted. Drake, he would not retweet it.
Yeah.
But the nigga Nipsey, he just gonna be like, niggas fuck with me, son. I'm about to retweet this shit.
Yeah.
Period.
And that's what I'm saying, man. It was just, you get that vibe from him, and he was a genuine person, man. And RIP, it's a real loss.
That nigga was the realest. Hit Boy, the best producer ever, and Nipsey Hussle is the realest rapper. The realest. Nah, he not a rapper. Nipsey Hussle is the realest nigga to rap. I mean that in a genuine sense. I'm talking about as an overall human being, what he meant to people. That nigga on some Bob Marley shit. As time passed, niggas gonna start to see that. It's still early right now, but as time passed, and more people grace this planet, and they lack character and they lack a backbone, you're gonna start to see niggas gonna be like, damn, man. I remember when Nipsey need more niggas like that.
Yeah. Speaking of, you just brought up Drake. Shout out Drake. That's one of the biggest tracks that I've seen that you produced, and probably one of my favorite Drake songs ever. That Look What You Done off Take Care. Yeah. I seen a video where you were breaking down how you even came up with the beat. I wanted you to tell, because they said, did you take that beat from you sampled that from a YouTube video of Static Major?
Yeah, so I ain't gonna say I'm the first, but I think I might be the first one to make an iconic record. I'm literally using the word iconic for this generation. I think I might have been the first to like sample some shit from YouTube that wasn't a song, because it wasn't a song. Session of Static Major and Smoke Diggler playing the piano, you feel me, and singing. So I just happened to be up one night. That nigga Drake had the video. They used to be posting videos on the OVO blog, and I didn't have nothing on the album at the time. We had music cut, but nothing was like slotted for me to make the album. And then I don't make them type of beats necessarily at will to be on some like Boy Wonder type shit, like make a club banger. I don't got no club bangers, you feel me? I just got shit that's soulful, that niggas love, and I appreciate that shit. And I just think I got a joint in his catalog that's always gonna stir emotions up in people.
Always, yeah. That's one of his greatest songs.
And that's just what I want, you know what I mean? So that's how I felt when I seen the video. I'm a huge Static Major fan. Timbaland, you know what I mean? So when I heard it, I'm just like, niggas not singing like this right now. In an era full of auto-tune and all this shit, I was like, this nigga singing soulful. And that's the type of nigga I am, bro. I'm soulful. Like, even if you want to sing through the auto-tune, just be soulful for me. That's all I care about. You know what I mean? Because I feel like this generation, they very, very good at trying something new and very, very good at being creative, but I feel like it come from here and it don't be coming from both places. It need to come from here and here. I think a lot of times nigga just be off the cuffing it and just throwing the shit out there. And that's good energy, but energy dissipate. You know what lasts forever? Spirit and soul. You feel me? When some shit got soul into it, it's transferable. But energy, once it's transferred to somebody else, what if they turn the positive energy into some negative shit?
Yeah.
One thing about that soul, a nigga gonna have to be demonic as fuck to not go with it. But a nigga could be confused, a nigga could be down sad. You play the right chords, you play some shit that's soulful, it's gonna touch their ass. It's gonna make
your hair gonna go up on your arms.
Yes,
you know
that's the type of music I always want to make, bro. Period. That's all I'm into. Cause niggas got enough of that 808 shit banging in your head and how you fucked up. But like, who gonna make some shit to like you said? Okay, it's track number 12. We in the middle of the album towards the end. What's that joint that's gonna be like, look what you done, you feel me?
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. That's definitely a great song. And you made that Lil Wayne and Eminem collab that Drop the World.
Yeah, Drop the World. That's another one, you feel me? A nigga stupid proud of, just because if you go through Wayne catalog, you ain't gonna even remember anybody but Manny Fresh to keep it like that, who made the beats. So the fact that me and Hit Boy was able to do that, and they got Eminem on it, two of the biggest rappers of our generation, and it was at the time where he was trying something different. You know what I mean? Anytime somebody want to evolve or progress, and they want us to be involved with it, I think that's one of our biggest gifts with me and Hit Boy. You feel me? Like, we grew up in a generation like where we respect the OGs so much, of like 2 to 3 generations before us. We talking about like music in the 60s and 70s to now, where we with the younger generation, but we just not entering our prime. You feel me? Like, our 20s was really experimental and trying to see if we was built for this shit. And now your 30s is like, nigga, and now that I'm seeing niggas that's 40, 50 running it up, I'm just like, nigga, what?
Yeah. And that's what we were just talking about that on my last podcast, and we basically was talking about how the new Nipsey and Jay record, and I just was saying like how cold it is that you look at Jay. You know, Jay ain't putting albums out like he used to.
Bro, he the same age as Big Daddy Kane.
Exactly, but
he might be older than Kane.
He 51, and the fact that when he drop a verse, it ain't like, come on, man, everybody trying to hear that. Like, that's crazy. He can still tour, he can still do that. It just show how far hip hop evolving, where ain't no age limit on this no more. Like,
you know what it is? Hip hop is never gonna have an age limit anymore, because. And I don't think it had an age limit in the beginning period, because you got to think about what it was built on. It was built on disco. It was built on like older shit, and niggas just putting a spin on it. But I just think with Hove show you like, you got to be healthy as a rapper. You got to be healthy as an artist. And Jay-Z is healthy mentally. He not dated mentally. You got some niggas that's dated mentally. I love Lil Wayne, but sometimes Lil Wayne dated mentally. You feel me?
Yeah.
He was dated when Thug came. He could have embraced Thug the same way he embraced Drake. But you know why it was easy to embrace Drake? Drake was something you could understand. The nigga was paying homage so much, it was just like, all right, cool. Like, he's showing love at the same time. But with Thug came through and was like, nigga, what? Nigga, barter 6, nigga. And
it just seemed like people. It's like two, and you can look at like even Nas, throw Nas in there. Nas not competing with none of the youngest. Like, he embracing everybody.
Dave East, Dave East come be my little nigga.
Yeah. Like it's the embracing. You know, is there anybody that what was that one thing you did that you was like, damn, okay, I made it? What was that first inkling, like? It might have been that first place where you got, where you was like, okay.
The Grammys. Yeah, the Grammys. Period. Yeah. You know why? Because as soon as I said that, I remember going around the industry and seeing all the people, and there's no disrespect to them, all the people who was Grammy nominated. When I saw how it affected them, I was kind of like this. I love it because I got it with my partners. It's Drake.
Exactly.
It was a special time period when we did that album. And to get it with a nigga who I consider a brother and I got love for, and that was like a historical moment for him to win Rap Album of the Year. So the fact that happened with a nigga that everybody doubted, because most times the nigga that get the Grammy is not the nigga that they doubt. It's almost like a clear-cut, sure shot.
You know,
like when Outkast won. Yeah, you know who getting it. You know who had Album of the Year. But that was a tough year that year in 2011. That was like the new generation kind of going against the old generation of niggas that was seasoned still. You feel me? Like Jay-Z wasn't. You gotta think. 2011. That's
Watch the Throne. Everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's 10 years back. So that's peak Kanye, peak Jay-Z niggas. And then at the same time, this nigga Drake low-key managed by the same niggas. So he really battling with them niggas. Like, we seeing them niggas in real life. This ain't no shit like now where I feel like this generation, it's so easy to be collaborative because niggas get to be in a bubble and they get to come out and pick and choose who they get to be around. You feel me?
Yeah.
This nigga Drake came in. They didn't want to see no nigga. First of all, they ain't want to see no new nigga come in, let alone a nigga that wasn't from America. Yeah. Let alone
singing,
light skin, don't look nothing like us. Niggas is like, niggas fucked up in the head. They like, what?
I said that the other day too. I was like, it's crazy if we went back 20. Let's go back to when 20 years Tupac, let's 98. And we said, hey, arguably the greatest rapper of all time gonna be a light-skinned dude from Canada that sings. Like, nobody would believe that shit. You know, like,
bruh. That's so much more. That the nigga before him, his only knock was that the nigga had a pink book bag and he might have not been street enough. That was it. But niggas still fucked with Kanye. Like, niggas was like, we fuck with dude. You with the Rockefeller niggas. Like, we gotta fuck with you.
Yeah.
Bro. Young Money wasn't even Young Money like that. They wasn't. They was not like that. Like Wayne was like mixtape Wayne on the verge of stardom. Like this pre-Lollipop, this all that shit, bro. Like niggas don't know that nigga Drake was in the studio with Dre and all these niggas. Like dude really was up in that bitch with the heavy hitters. And that's why I think he gonna be around. I think what niggas is gonna start to see now is him be more Jay-Z-ish with what he doing because he got the younger part of his career out the way, and he don't need the money, bro. He really could sit back, and if niggas and niggas count him out, he could really come back and hit niggas with some shit.
And you know what?
Legendary.
And with you being a producer, you're an artist too, a rapper too. We're gonna get into that, but you know how you got now, like you got Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist with the Alfredo, you got Jim Jones has dropped the whole tape with Harry Fraud. Yep. I like how the rappers, even Currency did some with Harry Fraud and he did some with Alchemist, but the rapper and the producer tapes that are coming out, that'd be something I love to see. Like you do, like even Drake. I feel like that's something Drake missing.
Speak it into existence, nigga. I'ma text that nigga after this for that.
Yeah,
bro, that's been the biggest goal. But look, I'm gonna tell you this: you got to catch niggas at certain points of their career because when they building something, they gonna fuck with the niggas who've been down with them since day one. And I'm an OG, OVO, but 40 Boy Wonder, them niggas is day ones. I ain't no day one Canadian nigga. You feel me? But I would love to get with Drake at this period in his career because I feel like niggas don't want the 40 sound no more. Niggas don't want the Boy Wonder sound no more. Not to say that I don't think they would want to hear something new from them, but I think it would be dope because when I hear Drake do the shit over like the song Florida with Love and all that type of shit, I'd be like, you know what, nigga, we could have did that and really like ran it up, like run it up. You feel me? But I'm with you on that because that's why I was around when Hit Boy was doing the Benny Butcher shit, Nas shit, all that shit at the same time. Them niggas coming in and out the room. And I also think Drake need that type of energy. You feel me? Like he gotta. I would love to see him just come down off the mountain and just rock with niggas, bro. Get in with Benny, nigga. Like get in with all these niggas, man.
Yeah. And I think that's what he needs. I was saying, text that nigga.
I'm with you, bro. It's good you saying that because I think it's in the air. Because I'm not one of them niggas. I never count that man out because I know how great he is. But the tables turn, like we were talking about earlier. Like Lil Baby is the nigga with the style right now. You feel me? Babyface Ray, and them Detroit niggas. how they coming so consistently is getting niggas to get familiar with what they bringing to the table. Then you got ESTG. I think Drake, he got a tough battle with the fact that like his style got duplicated so much and he don't drop as much as the other niggas who keep coming with different styles. Like the one thing that keep Future in the fold, he'll go do some shit with Drake, but then he right back in the street with the fucking street niggas with Babyface Ray.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it keep a nigga around the energy, bro.
Yeah. That's what, man. I love that, man. But with I just seen that you just posted you got a new single about to drop. And before we get to the single, the artwork. That's why I said I was like, man, I fuck with this nigga, man. You had the wood, like you had the wood on there, man. I was like, oh, that's my shit. You got it's called Players Play, your new single. And that's something I do on my podcast. I got like a wall of fame. I got a whole bunch of people on the wall of fame, but I change out movie posters every episode. So where I might have the wood on, there, I might have to do the right thing. When I seen that, I was like, this is my type of nigga right here, man. I fuck with this nigga.
Gotta keep that alive, man. Right now, black culture, you know what I mean? We putting layers on top of it more and more and more. And I think a lot of times we start forgetting about the foundation of shit. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas, they born in the 2000s, they 21 years old now. So they ain't catch a lot of the shit that we had. And need it, you feel me? That's like me not knowing what Marvin Gaye is and not knowing what the Mac is. It's like, you got to know what the Mac is, nigga. Like,
man, I had my young boy over here. I'm 32. My young boy, he's 23. He never seen Home Alone. You know what I'm saying? He never seen Home Alone, man. I gave him, and I had to give him a DVD. He never seen The Last Dragon. I sent him. I told him don't come back to my house until he watched it, dog.
Oh my God. See, that's what we dealing with. So like, that's why I'm doing that shit, bro. Like when niggas listen to the album, so the single, it got the intro from the wood. Niggas will see what's seen. If niggas see me posting a pizza slice and they see the scene, then they know what's up. But that was a part of my life, bro. You know what I mean? I think it was, and I want to start putting context to songs, you feel me? Or captions. I see generation like they like something that you can describe to them or lead up with. So like, don't just post a photo and not post no caption. Niggas might like it, but since you ain't explain what was going on in the photo, they just gonna breeze by it. But if you
shout out to my nigga Joe Jack. I tell nigga this all the time. Like, you'll see, like my nigga Joe Jack, he one of the flyest niggas in the world. You know what I'm saying? He posts on the gram. It won't have a caption. I said, bro, you gotta say some fly shit when you post that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like to grab their attention. Like post something Fab to say or something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
that's why Fab kill him. That nigga Fab know niggas. Fab know that niggas want to laugh at his outfits, and he know that they want captions. Period. Point blank. Give niggas what they want. And I'm on the same tip. That's wisdom. That's me being older now, understanding the shit. And I felt like I dropped a lot of good music back in the day, blog era. The blogs used to give people context to my music. You feel me?
Yeah.
Introduce niggas to like, who is this new nigga or who is this dude? Then I was able to lock people in. And then when the DSPs came, kind of lost that shit where the niggas who independent, everybody, all the blog shit got picked up by the labels and they start running their shit like blogs. They start getting all the PRs that was on the market and shit like that. And next thing you know, everything was about a rollout. But nobody on major labels cared about a rollout before that. We was the first niggas doing rollouts, sending our shit email blasts and doing all that shit, dropping that shit on the internet. All them niggas wanted to do was send you on a press run and go talk to the radio station, nigga. Period. Point blank. Now they literally run their shit like two dope boys. They run their shit like nah, right? And I'm glad that I come up in that era, but I think once again now I'm at the forefront of like pioneering a new generation of the 2020s and how I'm gonna do this music independently. And I get it now. I seen a video earlier today where dude was like, if you want to be famous, you need a record deal. But if you're trying to get this bread, you got to be great at making music and you got to be consistently doing the music and dropping the music to have a streaming career. And I was spoiled by the music industry, bro. I have music money coming in the mail from Universal and all these different people, but the game done changed now. You know what I mean? It's coming differently. And we rocking with Empire, bro. So I'm trying to get these fucking Empire streams up. So that's how we dropping. So I appreciate it. Empire been with me since the beginning of my career. And it's great to be a part of a company who was at the forefront of like knowing how artists wanted to run their shit. and you got Mozzie over there, me over there, Eric Bellinger, Babyface Ray. Like they really got like this day and age work ethic and talent and the way to do music without being on some fame shit. If you know how to run your own shit, Empire know how to help you on the back end and not take from you at the same time as like a label would do. A label is gonna make you compromise somewhere down the line because your end goal got to match their end goal.
Have you ever it's an artist I fuck with. He from Harlem. His name's Shooter 9 Trey. He
never heard of him.
So he's a rapper. He's tight. I'll send you his Instagram link. But he don't put none of his music on the DSP. All he do is direct consuming. So basically, if you want his album, Cash App him, he gonna send you a copy of it digitally, and he gonna send you a hard copy.
Nigga, Rock Marciano like that.
I was just about to say, Rock
Marciano. He the nigga who made me change my shit up. Like we do that. Like if you go through my app, you can get the music through our CBR app. Niggas will send you a T-shirt with it, like a little whole package. I'm just trying to make sure that I can build my way up to what Rock Marciano doing and what Freddie Gibbs doing. You feel me? Like them niggas.
And that was just something I was like, do you ever see yourself? Taking that route too.
I feel like we already doing that. You know what I mean? With the clothes.
Every 2 years, I feel like this music gonna change, man.
Yeah,
like
we already doing that with the clothes and shit. We got the Twitch and shit like that. We gonna end up doing that where we like doing like Twitch interviews, Twitch performances and shit. But for me, I think I had to get back to loving the music. You know what I mean? I started focusing on design just so I could get the joy back in my life because the music industry kind of took it out of me. And Hit Boy's success and G-Rod's success made me happy again. You feel me? Because they filled the void for me being a producer. It was like, as long as my surf club niggas is booming, I'm straight. You feel me?
Man, and that's what I said. That's why you're a real nigga, because like you seeing your nigga success and it's that excited you. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no envy in it. Like that.
Bro. It made me go hard. It made me go hard because I was like, these niggas shining. Let me make these clothes because I know I got some niggas that shining who will rock my shit. And then if you remember, at the verses that Hit Boy did, he was wearing a Can't Buy Respect hoodie. So everything lining up, bro. You know what I mean? I love how it is right now. So
your brand of Can't Buy Respect, how long you been doing that? And definitely that's the greatest, not for sale. That's the greatest.
I would say seriously 2018. But we've been doing a product before it was called Can't Buy Respect. It had a couple other names. And then what you call it? I hit the road with Drake. When I went the road on Club Paradise, I was the only nigga brought merchandise because I was independent. Everybody else had a deal. Rocky, Kendrick, all them niggas had a deal, so they weren't worried about selling no fucking merch. They was getting paid every night. I remember the first night, and look, we wasn't thinking, because we thinking we hitting the road and we thinking about the amount of time we gonna be gone. So we like, all right, we need to make hoodies and crew necks because it's gonna start getting cold. Nigga, we start the motherfucking tour off in Miami, nigga. It's hot, nigga. That's the first day, nigga. Luckily, we had tees and we had enough tees to sell, but we had all hoodies, bro, and all kind of shit. So, nigga, we walking around the arena with hoodies on. Everybody in Miami got on shorts and shit. So we standing out. They looking at us like, who the fuck is these niggas? Everybody got wavy. I had dropped these wavy hoodies and shit. So, and I want to put this out there. Other than Max B, niggas gotta do they knowledge. I'm the other wavy nigga. And then after that, it was CDR. And then
I was about to say,
Shaq. It's Max B, me, Wiz Khalifa. I'm gonna give him a little too. You feel me? But me, then CDR, and then the new generation of niggas is Babyface Ray and Emotion Gang and all them niggas holding the wavy shit down, bro. But for sure, bro. For sure. I'm telling you all facts on everything.
I believe you. I've seen it. Like I said, man, I'm 32, man. That's my era. I grew up in. Max B, one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, bro. But the niggas, we had the wavy shit. We end up selling a lot of hoodies that night. And so when we selling the hoodies, we didn't have no bags and shit like that. I didn't know. I'm just like, they gonna buy the shit and they gonna put the shit on. So that they didn't have no bags. So guess what niggas start doing? They just start putting the fucking hoodies on. So all these people walking around. Then I remember Drake dad came up to us. We were at the merch table. I had got off stage and I was performing in the gear every night. So after I got off stage and I went back to the merch booth, niggas was walking by the merch booth. They was like, yo, you was just on stage. And I'm like, yeah, come fuck with me. You feel me? So he's selling them bitches. I kid you not, bro. We got back on the bus. Niggas was looking at the bread, and me and my business partner looked at each other, and I was like, this might be the lick right here. Shout out to Crooks and Castle because they laced the nigga, you feel me? And then we got to stop in Kansas City. And I'll never forget when we got to Kansas City, we went by the Strange Music Compound and he gave us a tour and he let us see everything. Yes, Tech Nine and his business partner Trav. They let us see it. So Trav giving us the whole walkthrough. He gave niggas the whole game. He changed the nigga mindset, bro. I'm glad you asked me this because he really get the credit. Trav, when we went to Kansas City and he showed us the compound, he did not just show it to us and flex on us and be like, oh, this. He told us how he did it. He was telling us how he buy the buses and he run the buses for like a 12-month period, and then he go get the next one. Then he leased the bus out on he take the old bus and then he put it within the touring market and he let country stars use it and all kind. So everything he bought brand new after he got his wear out of it, he put it back into his asset fold and was just like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we don't need it no more. Or whenever we not touring, I give it to I let other artists in the game use it and rent it out. He bring us to the factory. This nigga making keychains. He making hoodies. He got all this shit. So I'm like, God damn. I'm like, because look, coming from New Orleans, I made a certain style of music and everything bouncy. The Detroit niggas and the Griselda niggas showed me one thing. If you consistent, you're going to win. The Detroit niggas showed me, run with your sound, whatever your sound is, just keep doing that motherfucker and niggas gonna grab onto it. And then the Griselda niggas showed me, build your world out. That's what Westside Gun showed me. Westside, no matter how weird it is, no matter how left field it is, build your world out. Let people come to your world. Because if you gotta share your artistry, you better be a trap nigga. I think the trap niggas is the only niggas that can survive because it's like they got a little bubble that they live in and they all can feed off of each other. But if you creative, you got to be like Freddie. Freddie, a good friend of mine. I like what Freddie did, especially because I know how he came in the game, extra hardcore, extra gangster, and what he been through with Jeezy and shit like that. But I feel like him and his business partner, Lambo, they started seeing like, if we start building this shit out, people gonna gravitate towards it. It started with the zebra shit for me. That's when he did the zebra shit. I was like, oh, niggas starting to understand it. They fucking with this. They not looking at it as some weirdo street nigga shit. Cause that was my thing. I was just like, is niggas gonna understand what we doing? But it'd be like Rock Marciano, niggas in their own lane. And so I think now
I feel like now everybody can eat. It's something for everybody. Cause like you said, I feel like I'm 32, but I be feeling like an old head because it be certain shit. I be like, yeah, that shit dope, but I ain't about to be listening to that shit. You know what I'm saying? When I heard Griselda, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like I'm listening to that and stuff like that. So I think it's a lane for everybody. You know, like once you find your fan base and then they fuck with you, you know?
Yeah.
And just how we doing this podcast thing, like, man, we just started, like we coming out of nowhere with this shit, but the merch is holding us down. Like you see the merch, we got the hats with logos on the hats, and you know we just selling the merch. But even the little merch that we selling, that's keeping us afloat. That's help paying for this, and that's building a brand. We building our fan base with. We're not making music, but people like our personality. They want to learn. They want to hear what we got to say about.
Y'all niggas gonna be up. That's what them Earn Your Leisure niggas did. Them niggas started off looking, I ain't gonna say dusty, but they was looking like two light-skinned bald head niggas on Instagram. I seen that nigga with some Cartiers on about a week ago, nigga. I was like, this nigga got the buffs on. Earn Your Leisure. Let's go. So I'm fucking with it, man. All of us need to be doing that shit.
Yeah. And man, I felt we could talk all day, but this ain't gonna be our last convo, man, for sure.
Yeah, but, man. I fuck with you, man. Holla at me, man. I don't know.
At the end of it, we do a little quick hitters. These quick hitters is gonna be one answer, like it's gonna be either or. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be tough too. You know what I'm saying? But just pick one or the other. Like just the quick stuff. I got about 5 or 6 for them. Quick one. First one: Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z.
Timberland, Pharrell.
Pharrell.
Jordan, LeBron.
Jordan. Man, Kobe.
Look, I didn't even put Kobe in it because that's that's my guy. I didn't even put Kobe. I just said Jordan.
So
LeBron.
Jordan, Jordan is Jordan.
All right, Drake or Kendrick?
Drake.
All right. And this one gonna get you in trouble. You from New Orleans. I don't know which one you gonna pick. Cash Money, No Limit.
Cash Money until the day that I'm gone. The biggest and the best record label to ever hit the game, and Rockefeller #2.
Okay. Man, that's it. Chasing Cash. J.Sims Supreme Pie Guy, man. This is Eliminate the Doubt. I always end it on just because they couldn't do it doesn't mean you can't. Thank you for listening. Thank you, my brother. We definitely will be in contact. Thank you for doing this, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. Tell them niggas go get my album. It's dropping Friday, Volume 3, The Legendary Stories of a Hustler's Life. Go get Volume 1 and 2. Prepare yourself for Volume 3. CanBuyRespect.com, man. Appreciate you.
Man, 1.